Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be providing a longer term market analysis update for Binance Coin. We'll be looking at the BNB Bitcoin ratio and this further continued bullish breakout from this longer term extensive range on the BNB Bitcoin ratio. We're going to look at some key levels of support and resistance here on the BNB USD pair, some weekly moving averages. We're going to talk about the daily 200 MA and some key levels of resistance ahead of us if we were to continue this uptrend that we really began back here in June. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, by the way, feel free to check out our sponsors in the link in the description below. This channel is partnered with the cryptocurrency exchange FTX.us. So I want to focus on the BNB Bitcoin ratio first, just because I think this is the far more important pair. And if you've been following my BNB videos throughout the past few months, we discussed this longer term breakout on the BNB Bitcoin pair, making a new all-time high, a huge breakout of this massive range where BNB went from April of 2021 all the way to August of this year, just a few months ago, consolidating between the support, which was around 680,000 Satoshis, and then the resistance around 1.2 million Satoshis. So again, we have had that breakout. From the breakout point, we are up around 24%. Fairly impressive move considering not a lot of altcoins are actually doing well with respect to Bitcoin, and a very few can actually say they've made new all-time highs with respect to Bitcoin. So I do want to zoom in on the daily chart and focus on the structure we've got going on here. And what I really like about this is we do have a higher high and higher low structure. So we've been forming these higher highs subtly over the last few weeks, making these higher valuations as well as with the lows. The support is coming in at a rising trend line. Buyers in demand are stepping in at zones that were previously resistance. So that's a great sign for me. I really like to see this trend, and I just want to see this trend continue. One of the things I really like to look at with a trend is how sustainable it is. And when you have a very vertical like rally, those trends typically aren't sustainable. They're very inefficient and you don't really develop a lot of support. Whereas on the BNB Bitcoin ratio, we're really just taking our time, having this slow grind up. We're establishing some support levels and we're having this pretty nice, consistent trend. So that's really what I want to see continue here. And as long as BNB can continue to form this structure of higher lows and higher highs, I am very bullish on this altcoin. And I think that this ratio trending up, the outperformance with respect to Bitcoin is really giving a lot of strength into the BNB USD pair. If we look at the BNB USD pair, you can see that strength holding up. We're very comfortably above these range lows. We've broken above this downward sloping resistance, and now we're pressing up on that high back here in August. So this is a great sign. And again, I really like to see how we've broken this general downward sloping trend line. You can see how this acted as resistance throughout these months in December and November. We basically just consolidated right under this. All of these weekly candles try to get back above this level. You can see the wicks coming up above. Ultimately, the candle body's closing under this, holding it as resistance, and then a continued move lower. And then we also had that continued resistance through April and May. We had more rejections off these trend lines, eventually forming that same pattern of a lower low. But this time around, throughout August, up until just a few weeks ago, we continue to hold it as resistance, but we didn't get that rejection. We didn't form lower lows. In fact, we've now broken back above this level. And now I would say there's a very high probability that we will make a higher high, taking out this high from August, which was around $339. Another thing that I really want to talk about here is how we've actually broken above both the 20 and 21 weekly averages. So I'm just going to remove all these drawings here for just a second. And with these moving averages, notice how they have also acted as resistance throughout this bear market. This is where the lower high formed off of back here in April. We had that rejection right up at these moving averages, and then we had that turnover lower. We also rejected off these back here in August, consolidating under them for a very long period of time. And just this last weekly candle close, we've actually fully broken back above this. And I will be looking out into the next weekly close to see if we can get confirmation. The more weekly candle closes that we do have above this region, the more convincing this breakout will be. So look out into the next few weeks if we can remain above both of these moving averages. The red one, the 20 SMA, is coming in right around $277, and then the green one, the 21 EMA, is coming in right around $295. Now, another very important thing about these moving averages is that you can see they have started to slope back upwards. And this is the first time that they have started to slope upwards since we lost them back here in December of 2021. You can see that inflection point where they really just started to roll over here and then come back down. And during the bear market, when these are resistance, that level of supply is downward sloping, so it is declining week over week. and that's really what catalyzes these downtrends. But again, we have broken back above them. They're starting to slope upwards. So if we can hold support off this region while it starts sloping back upwards, that would be a great catalyst for starting to retarget some of these resistance levels ahead of us. If I turn the drawings back on, we can look at this level right around $380 as our next key level of resistance. And this is going to be a resistance because this is the middle of the longer term range that BNB has been in since entering back here in February of 2021. So if we do get a continued rally into the next few weeks, this is going to be a very important level I will be watching out for on the longer term. And if we can reclaim this, which is much further out, but I do want to talk about this because I definitely think this is a realistic possibility. If BNB can reclaim this level, get back above it and consolidate, hold it as support, this would be a very bullish sign that I would start to look for as evidence that we might be heading back up to some of these all-time highs. Again, much further out, but I still want to cover this because it has been a very realistic possibility in my mind ever since we've broken back above some of these resistance levels. Now, another resistance level that we broke back above is the 200-day simple moving average. So I'm going to pull that up on the chart right here, and I really just want to focus on how the 200-day simple moving average was previous resistance back here on the lower high in April. So I'm just going to zoom out so you can see this a little bit better and then remove these drawings just to isolate the 200-day simple moving average. So you can see what I'm talking about with this resistance back here in April. We tried to get back above this level, ultimately falling just a few percent short of having this retest, ultimately rejecting off of it and then continuing lower, forming these lower lows. And then we also had this rejection right here. All the way back in August, you can see we had this move coming up right into the 200-day simple moving average, rejecting off of it and then consolidating. But if I zoom in here to today, you can see that BNB has started to close back above this level. Currently, the 200-day simple moving average is $291, but yesterday's daily candle close was around $314. So the first time of actually being above the 200-day simple moving average since all the way back here in January. So it's a very bullish and significant sign for me, and I really want to see this continue to hold. I want to see BNB continue to remain above this moving average, and ideally, if it can start to slope upwards, and if we can hold it as support, that would be even more bullish, and that would be another thing I'm looking out for into the next few weeks. So just as an illustration, what that would look like is if the 200-day average does start to slope off here, come back up, and then if we can just consolidate from here, hold it as support, and then ideally make that higher high, taking out the August high. These are the signs I'm watching for into the next few weeks to target the middle of the range, coming in right around $380. And then from there, we're going to have to wait and see how that has an interaction. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content and the analysis. Once again, check out our sponsors in the link in the description below. You can check it out, ftx.us, with my referral code SNOWYCRYPTO, or with the referral link in the description below and get a 5% discount on exchange fees. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.